Hey girls, how's it going? I hope your day is going well. Except for you, Amber. I hope your day is going kind of bad because I saw you doing some, let's say, unsavory things in the LCU. So let's get into looking at some gross clips of you.
It's dark time, as you know.
Alright, so I was going to react to at least this first video yesterday, but then things just got really busy. My kid wasn't sleeping. You know, it was a lot. So I'm gonna do the two from the last couple of days. We've got one from yesterday and today that have been uploaded on Apathetic Facts. Again, I wouldn't be able to do these without apathetic facts. I mean, like, theoretically, I could go back and watch, like, the 2 hours of it, but I just don't want to. And also, I don't want to give the LCU any views, because the more I get to know them, the more I realize how gross and bad each of them are, even people who I initially like. So, we're going to get into, I'm going to say some gross stuff that I've seen from tech, Amber being gross. Just the thing is, everyone's apparently terrible, which we're learning more and more.
I'm so much better than the majority of you.
So as promised, Amberlynn immediately is coming in hot, looking just like a fool, because she seems to think that she is entitled to people's money if they talk about her specifically. You know, just like how celebrities are entitled to money if TMZ talks about them. Politicians are entitled to money if MSNBC talks about them. That's like how it works, right?
Anyways, I'm about to make real good money on that fucking glass too. I'm excited. I'm about to be rich.
Oh yeah, did you guys hear Keem announce if Glass continues to do this bullshit where they are constantly covering Amberlynn Reid, that Amber's going to get a percentage of their income?
So this is the message that got people talking. Keemstar suggests that channels focused on Amberlynn Reid could violate YouTube's harassment policies and might even be forced into revenue sharing. But that's not really how the policy works. Discussing or criticizing a public creator isn't harassment under YouTube's rules. This message also seems to be aimed mostly at Glass, which is one of Keemstar's own shows. Since he owns the channel and runs the LCU, he could technically decide how the revenue works there. But the way it's phrased also raises the question of whether this is meant to scare reaction channels that cover bus content, or if it's simply something being said to keep Amber happy, since she's been complaining about so-called detractor channels for a while now. And just to clarify for viewers, YouTube's harassment policy doesn't say you can't cover the same creator. What it addresses is repeatedly targeting someone with insults about their appearance or other personal traits. Commentary about someone's public behavior or content is not what that rule is referring to. Now, in fairness, Keemstar actually could do that with Glass, because he owns the channel and the show. If he wants them to split revenue or change how the money is handled, that's ultimately his decision as the person running the LCU.
What do you guys think about that?
Because listen, at this point, I'm their third host, and I love living rent-free in their head. They make spite members and spite money, and pretty soon I'm going to get some of that spite.
And obviously this is stupid. Amber should know this, but she doesn't, apparently, which is that if people were not talking about her, then she would become irrelevant super quickly. So having people talk about you, well, I understand it can be unnerving or unsettling for her. It's not a bad thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, no publicity is bad publicity. Karina Kaboom talks about this all the time. I 100% agree. If, for example, a movie, I'm thinking of like that one with Sydney Sweeney and whoever, I don't know. And there was like rumors of them having an on-set romance, even though they weren't, and it could have been potentially detrimental to their lives. Outside of that, they were doing it to like drum up, you know, excitement for the movie, to make it more exciting or thrilling, right? And this is the exact same thing, Amber. People talking about you on Glass ultimately benefits you, even if you're not getting like a direct paid cut from or paycheck from it, because it keeps you in their mind. It keeps you relevant. And if you become irrelevant, then who in the hell is going to care what you're doing anywhere else? Okay, so this show is hella disjointed and hard to follow. But next thing we're going to talk about is Amber bringing up for the like millionth time Tommy's former past late fiance and her experience. And the thing that I keep thinking about is how much Tommy probably doesn't want her late fiance brought up in this. I assume that that woman's family does not want them to be brought into it anymore, and yet Amber continues to drag her in for no reason, just to say, just to talk, because she needs to fill the air. And she says that people shaming her for the quote-unquote work that she was doing, which we have shown that she said, no, I cannot accept money for this. So was it really work, or was it just a recreational activity? Is also shaming anyone else who engages in that type of work. And I would argue, no, it's pretty different. I don't know, obviously, a ton about this woman. However, we've shown pretty clearly that this type of activity, this sort of a leisure activity or work, could cause a lot of damage to her. And I don't think anyone really blames the late fiance. I think we're blaming Fed Geen, honestly. Like I don't think that like the late fiance, it seems like she was not doing great mentally, just from like an outsider's perspective. I don't think that anyone who finds themselves in that situation is doing great mentally, but I think we can look to Tommy for being the reason why she was in that situation.
Solid.
So people shaming, not to bring this up, and I'm going to bring it up one fucking time. People shaming my girlfriend's late fiance for what she did for work. That's also shaming sex workers. But people seem to forget about that.
Because she's literally dead because of her quote unquote sex work.
Lupa, I have told you 100,000 times, we're not going to sit here and debate this. I said it one time for the one time because it's the truth. People are hypocrites. The reason why she died.
You brought it up.
So if you don't shut the fuck up.
And obviously everything that happened with the late fiance is incredibly tragic, very sad, and I truly just wish that ALR would stop bringing her up, because it's gross to continue to talk about her when if I had to guess, Tommy has been like, please, I really would prefer that you not talk about her. She obviously isn't here to defend herself. She can't be a part of any of this. But we know Empath Lynn is always around, and she gets a chance to really showcase that strong empathy that she definitely has, because Tech is going to start talking about some substance use, and let me tell you, ALR just, man, you know, sometimes like you remember that there are some people that are just so special and just truly light up a room. And we get to see that there are people like that.
And about like a year ago, I started drinking again, and now I drink like every fucking day because I'm working with you, Amber. Because you are so upsetting that I've had to go back to fucking alcohol. When did my drinking start again? Oh yeah, it was working with you.
No, it's because your dad's dying, remember? Supposedly. Or do you only bring that up when you need sympathy?
Appreciate it. I don't want the
Because we
sympathy.
could do a compilation together of how many times you said that you hate your dad. How many times you said that you hate your dad. Bye.
Bye. That was really fucking disgusting of her to say that, Tech.
Yeah.
See, this is why Girl World has so many fucking problems with this, because she does like this.
Yeah.
Fuck her, Tech.
Been trying to let it sit. You know, I talked to you two both before we streamed, I think like 3 days ago, about what was happening. It's...
So, obviously, if anyone in the world, theoretically, would be able to empathize with and understand that people can have really complex relationships with their parents, it would be somebody like Amber. But that would require any shred of empathy, right? Like, Amber is a person who theoretically has had just a really rough go in the parenting department, right? And Tech talks a little bit about his experience growing up with his dad and just the way that they got along and their relationship and how strained it is. And you would think that theoretically Amber would be a person who could maybe relate to that in some way. But no, she is not.
Amber girl, get some life experience in perspective and quit it with the low blows. That was disgusting, and a new low supporting you two. Thank you.
But what happens next? And honestly, I don't know. I think because what I learned about tech today, I'm not in love with, but I was watching it and I was like, this guy, I don't know if he either has like the most insane amount of empathy because he is able to offer so much grace to Amber, or there's something like, is he pretending to do this? Is there something else going on? Because the amount of grace that he offers to her after she was being just like genuinely disgusting and awful to him, like in a really public setting. Amber likes to say that, am I in the Twilight Zone? I was literally looking at it like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Did I actually hear the same thing that he heard? Are we processing this in the same way? Because he had a much different reaction than I think basically anyone else in the world would have.
My relationship with my father is very complicated, right? It's been a crazy time growing up with him. He has BPD, all right? His BPD 10 times worse than Amber's, guaranteed. People have asked me, how can you work on bus? And it's like, this feels like home. This feels like, the family dinner table. It's totally fine. It's super complex. My dad's been a crazy character my entire life. Am I still worried? Yeah, but I'm worried on like a human level more than like a son, which sucks to say. I wish I had that relationship where I could be concerned like a son would be for his father. I'm just sad to see a person have to go through what could be one of the scariest moments of his life, not knowing if he has weeks left or years left or decades left. It's super complex. Back to Amberlyn Reed. Sorry, Amber, but all these stories about you are like a year old or more, right? The last bad thing people complain about you is from like 2024, right? You have every opportunity to be such a powerful change for the community that you have and communities out there. You can be a fucking like marker of hope for changing your life and turning your life around. And that's why I enjoy working with you. Nothing you've done in the past fucking year has been bad. You've actually made a change. You've gone on your medication. You've corrected the wrongs. You've addressed the issues. And that's why I work here. It's not the money. It's not the clout. It's, oh my gosh, what an opportunity to see positive change in the world. The real talk is you are influential. You're quick-witted. You're funny. You're engaging. I imagine we could do so much more good in the world having these deeper conversations than, oh, did she do this bad thing? Or, oh, was she potentially reckless when she was like 23?
Okay, so the thing is, Chuck, is like, she literally just did something awful to you. The things that Amber did a year ago that were bad were really, really bad. Do you know what I mean? I think if you were like, oh, I'm not going to continue being mad at someone because they broke my vase a year ago, that would be ridiculous. But I think it's valid to be like, I'm still mad at that person because they were the A word. They ended the life of an animal. They were a really horrible partner and did really bad things that I can't say on YouTube. Like, there's a difference for sure, right? Like, this isn't like, oh, I maybe did something that was like, oh, maybe not super great, like maybe I scammed somebody or did something like that. But we're talking about really, really bad stuff. And I do think that there is a pretty long statute of limitations on that. Do you know what I mean? Like someone maybe throwing their cat out into the cold when they were, by the way, the same age as me, a literal full adult, is something that I think is like that should stay with you for the rest of your life, honestly. I don't know if there's a time where I'd be like, oh, they're 90 years old, as if that's a thing that Amber will live to see. They're 90 years old. Do I think that they should still be held accountable for it? Yeah, I do, actually. I still think that the thing they did was bad and they should have to atone for it. And also, I was watching this because I'd already seen this clip that I'm going to show next, which was the night before. Tech, who, granted, it seems like was less inhibited in that moment, shared some more honest thoughts about what he was feeling about working with Amber. And let me tell you, they had a very different sentiment than what we just saw Tech saying.
Sorry, I burped. Amber doesn't give a f about my autism. You don't understand how autistic I am. I got you. Amber, I am autistic. You gotta tell me what the f you're talking about for me to understand what's going on.
No,
Also,
so
I'm drunk as shit.
you're an alcoholic, is what you are.
I stopped drinking alcohol, and you stopped eating from the dollar menu. All right?
Yeah, Tech, you're not gonna be on the bus long. Sorry.
I do it publicly because they can hold me accountable. The fucking last thing you can hold accountable is your tax records. Who says you can't afford to fucking pay your taxes off? By the way, Amber, I'm gonna tell you this right
Actually,
now. I am drunk. If you want to cause problems, stay on the fucking episode. I will shit talk you until it's
Okay, so then we're going to go on to the next one. Honestly, it was mostly Amber just saying something really crappy and then everyone getting upset about it, which rinse, lather, repeat. But I think the thing that I'm actually kind of glad that I was not able to do the reaction last night, because I probably would have been like, whoa, Tech is a really empathetic person, and there's still a chance that he could be, but we do find out that Tech was apparently also just like wallowing in the mud with everyone who likes to say slurs and do horrible things in this horrible LCU.
I said the F slur because I'm a bi man.
Didn't.
I did.
No, you said more than that, baby boy, and I'm about to reveal it
Name
all.
it now.
Because I do not like you, and
Do
I
it.
believe who you are. I believe who you
Amber,
are
say
when no
what I
one is
said.
fucking looking. Are you gonna let me speak?
Can say it.
I believe who you are when no one's fucking looking.
Okay.
Fupa, do you want to take the floor?
You can say
Yeah,
what
you say it.
Okay. Okay. So back to what I was saying. After Fluff, I went into this private area. There was a lot of hosts there. Tech ended up following me there, which is something he does. He follows me everywhere. I don't know why. It is weird and creepy and uncomfortable. The first thing he said was, "Are we live?" And then when we all said, "No, we're not," he starts popping off on me in a way that felt so verbally abusive that everyone was shocked. I'm going to be honest. I don't give a fuck what he said to me and about me. It was what he said about gay people.
What did I say about gay people?
Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to say it because I don't think she wants to. He said, "I am not a liberal. I'm a centralist," or whatever you said, and then you were like, "I will
All of the
F slur."
Do you think I said what? Okay, one, I would never say. I can't work with you guys. If you're just gonna lie, I can't work with you. I can't.
I want main chat to tag
Team, tag everyone. I don't give a fuck. I will not work with you.
Nightmare.
And we go through the like slowest investigation I've ever seen, where we go interview people and did he actually say this? It turns out yes, it sounds like he actually did. And let me tell you, I'm glad, like I said, I wasn't going hard for Tech, and I think this is like a perfect way for Girl World to see things, is that like I can see that people are gray. Do you know that, Amber? Like you can see that people sometimes do good things, sometimes do bad things, sometimes are in the middle, and that my initial impressions on somebody might have been incorrect, right? And I think that we can see that with how I'm feeling about Tech right now, because if he really is saying that, and he'll go on to say like, "Oh, I was super intoxicated. I there's no way I could have been in control of that." I think it's important to remember that if you say something like that, it was already in your heart. Do you know what I mean? It was already inside of you. And I'm not letting Fupa off the hook either, because I was in a Facebook group and saw that she was making some really strange comments about ICE and illegal immigrants. And, oh, let me tell you, like, why would Amber have wanted to get herself involved with this? If not for the fact that she is okay with it. That's the only reason I can see. I mean, money, obviously, but she has to be okay with it. She has to be co-signing a lot of it, because there's no other way that you would have gotten yourself involved in this absolute debauchery. And I, for a long time, was saying that X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, was truly just like the armpit of the internet, the butthole of the internet. But now I'm starting to think it's definitely actually the LCU, because every single person sucks.
I think you were alluding to.
Hold on, I don't think
I don't think you were alluding to.
Did you think hold on, I'll trust Nightmare. I'll trust Nightmare. Nightmare, I said.
No, you basically said that everyone calls you a liberal and you couldn't be further from the truth, and you said I will.
No, I didn't. Oh, am I getting gaslit? Oh, it's because you asked me to get fired today.
You literally said that.
No. I promise you, I completely forgot about it until you mentioned it, but that is actually true. You did say that.
Okay, I don't think I said that. I was really drunk. I don't think I said that. As a man who's been openly bisexual for like what, 12 years now.
As a matter of fact, I think you said that after you had originally said the word, and I was like, that's not very progressive of you. And you were like, progressive? I'm not progressive. I used to work for the government. I used to do all that. And then you said that.
Wow. Well,
I
guess I said that. Xylee wouldn't lie. I trust Xylee with everything.
And Amber goes on this like ridiculous righteous tirade where she's like, I can't believe that Keem would continue to employ someone who would say something like that, as if we haven't known her the whole time. Do you know what I mean? Like, first of all, Amber, we've seen you do things that I would argue are substantially worse. As a fellow queer person, I would say I've seen you do things. So like, it's me who could be impacted by this statement, right? As a fellow queer person, I have seen you specifically do things that are worse than saying this, and you are employed here. But more importantly, what in the world makes you think that Keem cares literally at all? Because he has hosts who are dropping the hard N-word, the R-word, like this, someone saying a slur, somebody saying something that was like completely out of pocket, that's not a concern for him even a little bit, and it's hilarious that you think it is.
My bad, dude. I didn't
The way I view it, Tech, you have done worse things
doing
that
an
people have
apology,
been
please?
fired for less. I don't give a fuck about your apology.
That's
you
not
deserve
true.
to be fired.
Okay, one, that's not true. The people have done worse and they're still hosts on
I do
Queens.
not want you here. I will be miserable until you are gone.
You miserable is good for like, content,
Can I just say I was there and I witnessed the whole thing?
Okay.
Did it happen or did it not happen, Keem?
I didn't hear or see a thing.
That's something that like is so disgusting, and people still somehow just like hyper focus on me. It's like, I get it. I am a celebrity, but like, calm the fuck down. I'm not working with Tech, bro. I'm just
fine.
not.
Okay.
Like, have fun at Fat Camp. After Fat Camp, it's about to change around here. I am not working with you.
Okay, that's fine. I am sorry if I said that when I was drunk. I probably need to stop drinking. It's unbecoming of me to have said things like that.
Because I believe people when they're not performing. And the Tech that I know behind the scenes makes me want to rip my eyeballs out. I don't know if it's just towards me or what it may be, but I hate this man.
Wait, I hate you too.
So Amber basically like quits midstream and is like running to the VC, and everyone's like, no, Amber, this is like the one thing this stupid show is about, is that they want to see you have a fight. So if you're gonna get into a fight, make sure you stay on air. And this is common knowledge and everyone knows it, but Amber can't follow directions.
I'm not going to allow you to go to your hug box, but I will allow you 2 huggies to bring up. So you pick 2 random ass kissers and they can come on bus and back you up.
Oh.
So Keem allows Amber to bring up some of the people from her hug box, I guess, and it is a absolute disaster, and this person maybe looks more embarrassing than anything else that's happened so far. And I think the reason why I think I found it so cringe and so awkward is because this person is trying to sound intellectual as they're presenting this argument. It's rabid, and at the end, like it's like one of those, have you ever seen that thing where like they are so progressive they loop back around to being conservative, if that makes sense? Like, the thing that you're saying is theoretically based in evidence and an intellectual argument, but the way that you're approaching it is an absolute disaster because you're coming at it from just a weird, bad perspective.
Hello. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. Hello.
Yes, I can. Hello.
All right. Hello. Wonderful. I've actually been super chatting under Rabbit. I don't know why my Discord name is Benzo, but Tech, I just want to say it's a little confusing because you say because of your autism, because of your communication style, you take things literally and you say things literally. But in order to host a show, it takes a lot of social intelligence, a lot of understanding, a lot of being able to pick up on social cues. So it seems like you pick and choose when you're socially inept in order to cover for certain transgressions. I really do think you co-opted being non-binary. You co-opted being bisexual. And I think you do that because...
And this fucking frame, dude, because Amber thinks that he's like crushing it. Like, he is like doing so good. He's about to smash every argument that Tech has for anything ever. And she's like, you're about to get told off, aren't you, Tech? And that's just so opposite of what ends up happening.
No offense, you're not a very impressive cis heteronormative man. And so you use queer stereotypes to subvert expectations.
You're saying it's because I'm not an impressive cis male?
Yes, I think by normal standards, you don't meet the threshold of what, society expects a man to be. And in order to kind of pacify that insecurity that you have, you co-opt being queer, you co-opt being non-binary, you co-opt being bisexual when it serves you.
Are you saying that if you found out that a friend of yours comes out as non-binary or bi, that you're making the same assessments? Oh, it's probably because you're not good enough to be cis. Like you don't meet the same cis standards.
Oh no, because
you just call out
I'm
people
surrounded by
for their identity by trying to diminish them and saying that they're not good enough to be a cis person.
Because I know what's performative and what's not.
Hold on, is there a certain way that a cis person or a non-cis person acts that you can identify that, oh, it's because you're a poor performing cis person?
Yes, because when you've actually grown up queer and you've grown up in a heteronormative society, you know how to pick up on the subtle cues of people co-opting different identities. I absolutely do have that radar.
Are you gatekeeping being queer?
I'm saying you're lying about being queer.
How would you know that? Do you know who I am outside of the LCU? Have you seen me grow up? That's kind of queer phobic. That you said that a man like me can't be non-binary or gay or whatever.
Keep talking, queen. Keep talking, queen.
It's a little bit phobic.
Be a queen.
You saying that?
So what next?
It's very phobic.
So what's next?
Nothing's next. I live my life the way I live my life. You don't have to believe me. You don't get to gatekeep what I want to be in my life.
Yes, queer monolith, come through. Yes, if you are not
I mean, would you back what he says, Amber? Would you say that you have to act a certain way to be a queer person, and you can only be? Yeah, that's.
I'm sorry. No, I do not agree with that at all because I don't act anything like a.
And this is just an excellent reminder that just because you have a marginalized identity doesn't mean that you understand how all marginalized identities work, right? Like there are still queer people who can have really awful takes on queerness, and spaces that are queer that have like transphobic or are not welcoming to genderqueer people or not welcoming to bisexual people, like that still exists in the queer community. Like not every single person who is queer has progressive and like intellectually based ideas on everything. And just like at the end of the day, like people don't, you can't look at someone, you can't just see someone and be like, oh, they definitely are or not or are not queer, and to suggest otherwise is just such like a ridiculous, antiquated way of viewing gender, sexuality, everything that exists in that world. Don't worry, the second that things might become like an intellectual or intelligent conversation, Keem shows up to remind us that this show is only for shitty people who have stupid thoughts and don't think about any intellectual concepts.
I just say that, like, I'm just a tad bit embarrassed. Tonight on Locale Bus, we've tackled some serious issues, right? This is Locale Bus. I don't think anybody wants to be educated by this show or any of its hosts on what's the correct way to operate in our society.
And I'm just one of the rats gobbling up all this terrible garbage that the LCU is putting out anyway, so I have nowhere to talk. But Keem's going to go on to say everyone here is a fuck up and a terrible person. And I just think if you are just listening, if you're just, you doing dishes or whatever, take a second, because I think you should see Amber's face when he says this, because I don't know if it's possible that she was unaware that this is how this was, or if this is just an act. It's hard to tell. But let me tell you, the surprise seems pretty real.
Because everyone here is a fuck up. Like, that is part of the reason why you've been hired as an entertainer, is because you are fucked up. So when we start getting into this preachy shit, whether it's Amber or Tech or even these callers, what are we doing? Like, this is not the platform and not the community to teach and educate the public on anything. We are the fucking clowns. Can we get back?
And so I am not the type of person who enjoys just like watching internet clowns. I prefer to like analyze it, again at like the risk of sounding too much like the other Rachel. Oh my god. But I like to watch things that I can analyze and dive in deeper, right? I don't actually enjoy watching someone like tear apart their house, because there's like nothing for me to dissect there, and if that's the sort of thing that people are into, fair enough. But I am watching, just so you know, Keem, which I'm sure you do not watch things like a teeny tiny content creator like myself. If you were to entertain more intellectual conversations, I do think that there's a chance that there's people who are interested in it. Granted, like anti-intellectualism is at an all-time high, and so you know, it's hard to say, but it does seem in Amber's reaction, just the way she responded to that, she seemed surprised that people would be viewing her as a clown, as somebody to laugh at, as if the whole thing isn't called the LOLcow universe.
I disagree with Keem.
Oh, well. Fupa, you got
This
whipped
is
cream?
girl world.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
The chat is agreeing with Keem for once.
Yeah.
No,
Team W.
But this is the part of girl world that sucks. And I guarantee there's a lot of people in girl world that would agree with me, is when we start doing this preachy, you're a bad person because this is a rule that you should know and let me educate you on whatever subject. It's like, that's not what entertainment is. That's just preachy dumb shit. This is supposed to be a show of entertainment, so nobody wants to be fucking preached at. Like, I don't give a fuck, bro.
That's an L take, bro. An absolute L take.
If we bring another person up here or another one of my hosts preaches at me, I'm deleting this channel.
So, like, honestly, if Fresh Air is looking for another host, or there's a lot of different NPR shows that discuss world events, things that are happening. I think Amber could be an excellent fit for that. I think maybe the LCU wasn't the right fit for her, but I think talking about really serious, really important intellectual topics is probably where her real, like, bread and butter is going to be. Okay, so after I did my supercut, is what I called it, of last week's LCU or whatever, local bus stuff with Amber, I was like, I think I'm going to need to take a break from it. And then, unfortunately, because I am a weak person, this pulled me back in. So I obviously needed to make another video about it. I am working on a separate video that I'm actually really excited about, of like, okay, so we know Foodie and Amber are, of course, part of Girl World. Who else do I think could be a part of it? And I've got like a whole bunch of different like influencers that I think I'm going to... We'll discuss if I think that they could be a part of Girl World. Are they suitably part of it, you know? Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Maybe I actually will take a break from it. We'll see if Apathetic Facts can continue doing more supercuts and I can find anything interesting. If it's just like boring, I'm not going to talk about it because like, who wants to just sit through it? But this was actually kind of interesting. So again, they pulled me back in just when I think I'm out. They keep pulling me back in. So thank you so much for being here. If you liked what we did, please consider subscribing. Again, I am like a brand new channel. I think this is maybe like the 12th video that I posted, something like that. But I really appreciate every viewer. If you have any topics that you'd like me to talk about, anyone else, whatever. I've done videos about Amber and Foodie, but I hate to admit it, but also, whatever. The world is dystopian, and I need something to distract me. And so I know a lot about different stupid things that are happening on the internet, and it's my guilty pleasure. And so there's probably a lot of different topics that I would feel knowledgeable enough about to talk about. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. Please leave a like and a comment or a dislike. I don't know, whatever, follow your heart. And I will see you next time. Bye.